Fort Wayne Ballet's The Nutcracker starts its seasonal run Friday, December 6th. This annual tradition is a fantastic, magical journey into the dream world of Clara and her precious Nutcracker as they battle the nasty old Mouse King and enter the kingdom of sweets. Here to share some background on this holiday treat for the whole family is Fort Wayne Ballet's Executive and Artistic Director, Karen Gibbons-Brown. Welcome to Arts Weekly, Karen. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited about Nutcracker this year. This is a tradition that goes back how far?
With Fort Wayne?
Yes, with Fort Wayne.
46 years easily.
And you sell out every year.
Yes.
It's such a tradition with the many things that happen in Fort Wayne during the holiday season. It's, I think, the pinnacle event.
You know, I'm flattered and honored and quite humbled by the fact that it is a community tradition that has been embraced, and we continue to grow and change it a bit so that it stays fresh. It's really quite a wonderful thing to be a part of the community in this way.
Families come back year after year after year as part of their family tradition.
And we have grandparents bringing grandchildren, and they saw it as children, which is amazing.
I have introduced my niece to ballet at the Community Arts Academy this last year for the first time. She's 6.
Oh, great.
So we'll
Perfect
be coming
age.
to the Nutcracker now
I'm
this year.
so
It's her
glad.
first time, and I'll start that tradition with her. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
So what makes it different every year? I mean, that takes work to take the story and, you know, make it different for a new audience. What are some of the things that you're maybe changing this year or adding to it?
Well, I think the story stays the same.
Of course.
And you know, E.T.A. Hoffman, the master storyteller of the time, felt that it was important that children know that there's safety and love. When evil turns to face them at every turn in their lives, there is good and safety and pure love and light. So I don't change the story. However, we do change some visuals. There are little tweaks in the choreography. Casting, as you know, it changes a bit from year to year, but it allows the dancers to grow into new parts and new experiences. We have some new backdrops this year. We're working on a reconstruct for Nutcracker, so the visual for Act 2 Kingdom of the Sweets is pure spun sugar.
Wow.
And I'll leave it at that.
Leave it at that.
Yes.
Don't give it away. We don't. We're in the theater. We have to keep some of
That's
the
right.
you know, mystery up. Are you the director of the Nutcracker then?
Yes.
And the choreographer?
For the most part, I do most of the choreography, but I've based it on choreography that's what we consider relatively traditional. The old Ballet Russe choreography is the one that I'm most familiar with, and so I've staged most of that for our organization. And then we have a couple of other people that work with me, David Ingram, Nora Hartung, Alexis Ingram. So we have it's a team effort.
I think people are surprised sometimes to learn how opera's the same way to a certain extent. How traditional really these dances are, that they go back a long time, that you're not, that you're asked to continue that tradition, not necessarily reinvent the actual dance. You're sort of asked to pay homage, if you will, to that tradition and some of those actual dance moves.
It's our responsibility with these ballets that we consider classical ballets, and I think people find it interesting that it's not written down anywhere.
Right.
It's not a score like a musical score. It's all in our heads, which is sort of frightening, isn't it?
Well, it is. Although when I lived in New York, I did have a friend who was studying, what was it? It was called danceology or something. She was studying...
Lava notation?
Is that what it was? Yeah, she was studying a way to notate dance so that there could be records in the future of some of the very wonderful new works that were being done.
Right. Most of that is 20th century works, and of course this goes back prior to that. The Nutcracker does.
How big is the cast this year in Nutcracker?
About 135 people per cast. It's the Ben-Hur Ballet. I don't know what to say.
I know. I took my breath away for a second.
Sorry
That
about
doesn't
that.
happen very often. Wow, that's incredible.
Well, we have community auditions, so not all of the students in the production are students of our organization,
All right.
not of Fort Wayne Ballet. Most of them are, but not all. We have a pre-professional track. We have a professional company as well. So it's a relatively, and community members that join us also.
You do have community members.
We do.
One of the gentlemen who shares the gym that I go to, or he's a gym rat that I go to. He's very proud to say that he's been in the ballet now, I think 3 years. Yes. Chris and Joe from, I forget Joe's last name, but he's been in the ballroom scene.
Yes.
I think he has a niece that's in your company.
He does.
And that's how he
student company, yes.
Yes, absolutely. So you extend out to the family, and you welcome anybody to join the company and the cast if they're available.
Right, and it's dance, but it's also a theater production. And again, as I said, it's the Ben-Hur Ballet.
It is the Ben-Hur Ballet.
Yes.
That many people.
It's a lot. And then you add the orchestra and the children's choir for the first weekend, and what is that? 250 people backstage at once.
Oh, my Lord, I can't imagine.
So
the first weekend, the Philharmonic will be with you.
Yes, the first weekend they are with us for all but one of the performances, and the children's choir as well.
Okay.
And then we have the Sugar Plum parties after the matinees. Then the second weekend, they're doing Holiday Pops, the Philharmonic, while we're continuing to do Nutcracker.
That's the thing about Fort Wayne. When I moved here 7 years ago, I could not believe how much this town loves Christmas. There is something to do from Thanksgiving to New Year's.
Every single day.
Well, there's more than something. There's 2 or 3 things to do every day, and this is
Right.
a highlight of it.
Oh, we're glad to be a part of it.
Who does your scenic design then? Do you hire people in?
We
or
hire people in to do that and have it, painting it is a whole nother story. So
Right, yeah.
we have that done out of town, sadly, at this point in time. But we don't get to rebuild very often.
That's not uncommon, though, really, for ballet
know.
companies, and
No.
it's not that uncommon for theater
Opera.
companies, and opera especially, to just hire designs that they've seen from other places, or you can hire stock drops and that sort of thing, and they come and they're really beautiful.
Yeah, we don't
They're
do
really
stock
fun.
drops
You
for
don't.
Nutcracker. Sometimes we will use those in different productions, but not for this.
Not
So
for
it's
Nutcracker.
ours. We do it regularly. So we've invested in the equipment, so to speak, for the production. Costumes as well.
Yeah, costumes for 120 people. You own all of those costumes.
Yes, we do. And clean all of them.
And I know that's the big bill. Do you make some of them? Do you have
All
them?
of them.
You make
all of them are made locally. We have a costume designer and executor, Tess Heat, and she creates the works for us. They're beautiful.
She must start in February.
Well, we don't redo all of Nutcracker every year.
Right.
So
there's some that can be recycled from year to year.
right, recycled, right?
Yes, recycled. That's a good term for this.
Refurbished,
Refurbished,
right.
recycled. Yeah.
Yes.
And you said that you have a professional program.
We do.
How does that? I was unfamiliar with that.
We
So-
have an academy, then we have the pre-professional program where they audition, and the youth company is they are our ambassadors in the community. Then our professionally tracked students that take dance academics as well. And then we have the college program, but we also have a professional corps that are actually paid. This is their job.
Oh, you do? Okay. And how many are in the professional company?
6.
Fantastic. That's
know,
a
we've grown
good
it to
size for a
6.
regional company. That's
And perfect for repertoire.
yeah, that's terrific.
Yeah.
Last week, a couple weeks ago, I had Rick Cartwright from St. Francis on, and he was very excited about your new program with St. Francis. Tell us a little bit about the Fort Wayne Ballet side of that program, because it's exciting for your students.
It is, and there aren't all Fort Wayne Ballet students that have come up through the program. A few are, but we have students that have auditioned for the program and been accepted into the university as well. And their applied pieces come from Fort Wayne Ballet, their dance classes and their dance academics, and then they do their gen ed classes on the campus at the University of St. Francis.
That's a win-win for both of you.
It's really exciting, and it tends to be what professional companies are doing now to school those dancers. Our lives as dancers are relatively short.
Right.
So
and they
what
want to get
happens
a
then?
college degree, and they want to continue to dance at the same time.
Right.
Now, do you
Tricky.
offer course? Then I think he said that you are also, some of your staff are teaching, or students are able to come from St. Francis and study at your new facility downtown. Or
Yes, exactly.
Take
That's
classes there.
Right. Our faculty runs, Fort Wayne Ballet faculty runs the dance part of that.
Of St.
And then
Francis's program.
Right. And then we entrust the professors to do the gen ed classes.
Right, exactly.
You
Well,
don't want us to do
yeah,
math.
You don't want to be teaching math,
No,
Karen, let me
not
tell you.
at
I don't want to teach math either, so
Yeah.
stay away from it. Well, I think that's a fantastic win-win for both of you. How long is the Nutcracker in length when someone comes to it? What can people expect for their children? The length of the actual program is an hour and
Counting
20?
intermission, it's about an hour and 40 minutes, hour and 45 minutes.
Okay, that's not
and
bad.
it's a nice length.
Yeah.
And it has that intermission for you to get up and stretch your legs. But you'll find that most children sit relatively spellbound. So
And you perform it at the
Arts United Center on
downtown.
Main Street. That
Yeah.
is our home theater.
Are you like, well, when we were there last year for Oliver, we load in the week before. Do you do the same, or do you have a longer time on stage? Because we loaded in that big set for Oliver the Sunday before we opened, and I thought I was going to I thought we were not going to make it, possibly.
We usually load in Monday morning before our tech rehearsal Monday evening.
Wow.
Yes, but for Nutcracker, we're fortunate with Thanksgiving weekend. We have 2 load-ins. We do the soft goods and the flooring, the special flooring dancers use, the week right before Thanksgiving, and then the Sunday before we start the run on the rehearsals on Monday, we do our second load-in with props, costumes, etc.
Volunteers?
Mostly volunteers, absolutely. And anybody
Parents
that
and
wants
community
to
members?
volunteer, we'd love to have them.
Yeah, that's terrific.
It's a major production. What is the statistic about 10 staff people, 10 crew people to help every performer on stage?
Right.
So you
exactly.
can imagine.
When you've got 120 people on stage. I can't imagine that backstage, Karen. My heart goes out to you.
You can't be backstage unless you're next
Unless you
on.
have to be, that's right. Line them up
safety.
and send them out.
Right, it's
All
a safety issue.
That's great. So information to get tickets to Nutcracker.
Right.
How do we do that?
We are a part of the Arts Ticks program at the Arts United Center. They have the box office, the centralized box office, and I believe
That is the ticket information for the Fort Wayne Ballet. The box office is 260-422-4226. That's 260-422-4226. That's Arts Ticks for downtown, or you can go online at tickets.arttix.org to get tickets for the Nutcracker, which runs December 6th through the 15th at the Arts United Center downtown for the Fort Wayne Ballets. I think crowning achievement for IPFW, or for Fort Wayne, is to have the Nutcracker in our town. So
well,
thank you so much for your efforts, and thank you for being on
Thank
Arts
you.
Weekly. I'm John O'Connell, Dean of the IPFW College of Visual Performing Arts. Please tune in next time on Arts Weekly, when we'll hear about the musical offerings being presented this holiday season at IPFW. Plus, we'll meet Robert Nance of the Heartland Chamber Chorale to hear about their upcoming performance of The Messiah. For up-to-the-minute arts updates, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and be sure to join us here live Thursday evenings at 7:30 on PBS 39. Thank you for watching Arts Weekly.
The preceding program on PBS 39 was made possible in part by Arts Weekly, celebrating regional expression, performance, and creativity, is brought to you in part by the Edward D. and Ione Auer Foundation, the Ian and Mimi Rowland Foundation, the family of Dr. Christopher and Kirsten LaSalle, and the support of viewers like you. Thank you.